So today I actually have a guest, technically a first time guest on the Prime Superhero Homies channel. He was on a Patreon episode just a couple of weeks back where we discussed the legendary, the iconic, the ill-fated early 90s Super Mario Brothers movie. Brendon, you joined me on that podcast along with Oz, and and you know what? Despite your terrible takes, I decided to bring you back.
That's not terrible. How dare you? The greatest movie of all time.
See, now we're only a minute into this, and I'm going to have to edit that out because I don't like blatant lies on this podcast like that.
It's the most magnificent truth.
Yeah, we're not even talking about the new Mario Brothers movie. We're talking about the old school.
The better one.
Wow. Have you even seen the new one yet?
Yeah, I actually saw it just yesterday.
There's no way you think that the old one is better.
See, the new one is like, they got the whole lore mixed up, and it's just like, I didn't see no
dancing giant Goombas.
No dancing giant lizard, well, actually there was Koopa, Bowser. He was dancing a bit, but there was no jump boots.
Yeah,
there was Big Bertha.
No Big Bertha,
which was the best character in the whole movie.
Oh my god!
Where was my Big Bertha?
Wow. Yeah. See, I'm already upset now because I was doing such a great job of putting that movie out of my brain. So yeah, guys, if you want to hear the entire foolishness of that episode, go to patreon.com/superherohomies. That way you guys can support me and listen to Brandon's bad takes.
This guy.
Yeah, but speaking of which, Brendon, I really I know I told you that we were going to be here to talk about like superhero fatigue and also do a preview for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. But truth be told, that was all just an elaborate lie to get you here, and to ream you out on the podcast, because you were supposed to be here initially to talk about King in Black, and you know what, Brendon? Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
You see what happened was.
I'm listening.
Shit, I got nothing.
You got nothing. You got nothing.
Shit.
If I had a boo button, I would press it repeatedly.
You know what? That's fair. Venom deserves better than that.
He does deserve it. You're even wearing a Venom T-shirt,
as I do.
And I knew that you were a Venom fan, and I was like, man, the King in Black story is really cool. We know they're doing the third Venom movie. They're probably gonna butcher Noel in that movie. It would be nice to discuss that story.
I will be even ecstatic if they even have Noel in that story. Like it just makes an appearance. Like they can butcher him all he wants.
No, they can't. No. Hell,
they have the other two. I like a lot.
Yeah, this is a huge mistake, homies. I apologize.
I'll be on my way now.
Yep. You can see yourself out. You know the way out.
Yeah.
Wow. So you actually thoroughly enjoyed the Venom movies.
I did a lot. The banter with Brock and Venom was the highlight for me.
I think the highlight for me was when the credits rolled.
Oh my God.
Okay, so I'll put it this way. Like they weren't the Venom movies, they're not the worst things I've ever seen in my life, but my gosh, if I have other things, if I need to do my taxes, I'll do that before I watch the Venom movies,
Oh my God.
Nothing about those movies really has shit to do with Venom or Eddie. It's mostly just an alien buddy cop movie.
That's what Venom is there for.
No, I mean they completely lost because your saving grace right now is Superhero Homies rule number 10, which is love what you love. Okay, that is rule number 10. But rule number 1 is character integrity.
Yes.
And character integrity has been broken by these Venom movies repeatedly. Venom movies are repeat offenders. Tom Hardy, I love you, but I can't let you slide.
What again went against the integrity of Venom? Because I like, as far as I could tell, and like, I'm not the most avid of like read every single, obviously.
Well, sure you are. You're wearing the shirt.
Damn it.
And you wore a Venom shirt the last time. It was a different one, too.
I have about 10 of them. If not more. I could wear a Venom shirt for every single day and still have more.
Wow. Twice on Sunday.
Yes. Especially.
Yeah. So I am glad you asked about the character integrity infringement that the Venom movies have committed. So first and foremost, transitioning Eddie Brock directly to San Francisco. So we're going straight to like the Lethal Protectors era, which means that we are bypassing several crucial things. By the way, guys, if you've only watched the Venom movies, you could probably be forgiven if you didn't know that, hey, Venom is actually closely related to Spider-Man.
Who is that? wait. I don't even know who that is. Poser.
Yeah. I mean, you know what? You can be forgiven for thinking that because there is no sight or mention of Spider-Man whatsoever. But
we don't need this guy, this spider guy.
Yeah, which is probably why Venom doesn't do one of his trademark things, which is web slinging. That's right. There is zero web slinging because he has no knowledge of doing that. Why would he? The symbiote never spent any time on Peter, which is where Venom got most of his traits from. He transferred them when he went from Peter to Eddie. Now let's talk about Eddie and how Eddie is vastly different from what he should be. Eddie is portrayed as a down-on-his-luck guy who has a heart of gold, though. Eddie in the comics is a real piece of shit, and it takes him a long time to become somewhat
There's
rehabilitated.
a heart of gold in there. Like, you can be a piece of shit and still have a heart of gold.
That is up for. I just finished watching Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. There's not a whole lot of people who have hearts of gold.
They might not be enjoying what they're doing, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Eddie Brock has murdered people. Innocent people, if we're really getting to it. Eddie Brock did not start off as a good guy, and it's really hard to tell that story of Eddie Brock during the Lethal Protectors era, the era where he distanced himself from Spider-Man and went to San Fran and wanted to start over and try his hand at being an anti-hero. It's really hard to tell that story if you don't want to tell the entirety of it. His journey as an anti-hero doesn't mean hardly anything unless we see him as a villain first. And seeing that plight and that struggle, he did what Peter couldn't do.
He ate a couple cops. Were those cops? I can't remember. I think those were cops.
I try to forget.
There's some SWAT guys that like got kind of actually. I don't. He was going to eat one of the SWAT guys.
Oh wow, but he didn't, huh?
No, but he was going to, but stuff happened, and things happen. Intention was there though. He's gonna bite off his head. Okay. That's one thing I do wish is that obviously they definitely should have been rated R. I don't know how the hell you have a giant alien that goes around biting off people's heads and not have rated R or any blood.
So let me get this straight also. So it's like, I think that one can be forgiven for, because listen, even I watched Venom 1, and you know what? I'm being a bit facetious here. I enjoyed the movie for what it was, but it wasn't very much. and
but also, you did enjoy it though.
I also enjoy Fast and Furious movies for what they are. They're not very much, but they're forms of entertainment. of some sort. And you know what? I've already spent my money on the ticket. I'm going to try to wring something from it. But I mean, with that being said, we've had this discussion off mic before. Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3 was a much better version of Venom.
The Spider-Man version, the Spider-Man story in that movie is better because it exists.
Because it exists. Yes, that's right. They even got the origin right. Yes, being in the church with the bell tower.
But after all of that, when they actually get to the nitty-gritty of getting Venom, it was just not there. That's not the screaming. Did
the actual web slinging throw you off? Was it the fact that he had the spider emblem on his chest? That must have really threw you off because I know you're not used to that.
Got jokes. This guy. Well, he was small, very small.
Venom was quite large. Yes. He wasn't like the fucking hulking version that's in the Tom Hardy movies.
That's what we need right there. That to
me is more reminiscent of the Matt Gargan Venom with how big he is.
So bring that jobber into this. Mac Gargan can't hold a candle to Eddie Brock.
Wow. Okay. I
said it. I said what I said.
See what you said. What about Flash Thompson?
He's cool. He's cool.
So you just don't like Mac?
No, because he's just some random ass jobber that has no the Scorpion.
He was Scorpion. Not Mortal Kombat Scorpion.
He's not even a high A-tier Spider-Man villain.
Well, it'd be weird, right?
C-tier at best.
Well, yeah, it'd be weird if an A-tier became Venom. What sense would that make? An A-tier wouldn't need to become Venom.
Venom is Venom.
And Venom is A-tier.
I would agree that with you about this whole Spider-Verse and the character needs this whole passing of character to this character, but he was this character. If that makes sense. I don't know if that makes any... You get what I'm saying? It's this guy is now this character now, not this other guy said character. I'm like, no, that integrity of that character was that guy. Why are we just passing out, these Matt Gargan was Scorpion, not Venom. Why are we making this guy that's already this one villain into this other villain?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't think that Mac is anyone's favorite Venom, and it is. I don't think that you can really beat the original anyway. No. But that goes for 95% of superheroes.
He's up there now. You see him now as with Captain America and obviously Spider-Man. Spider Guy. Sorry. And just your top tier, which is kind of weird because you see all these top tier superheroes, and then you have Venom just sitting there it's that's kind of off.
Yeah, I mean, I guess once you look at it under the guise of what they were doing with Marvel Comics during that time with the Dark Avengers storyline, I enjoyed it for that storyline. And truth be told, Matt Gargan didn't have the symbiote much longer after that.
For whatever reason, he is pretty famous, more famous for having it, and I'm not sure why. He's pretty
more
prominent.
Famous than
who? You got Lee Price, and then he's almost as famous as having it as Flash.
I would agree with that. Yeah,
even though Flash had it a lot longer, didn't he? As far as I could tell.
Yeah, I stopped reading Agent Venom once it started not being good. Agent Venom started off very promising, and I still love the concept.
The ending, from what I saw, was not great.
Welcome to Marvel Comics, folks.
Yeah. Flash Thompson somehow became anti-Agent Venom.
Yes, I stopped reading well before all that.
And then Norman.
Norman.
Yeah. He had the Carnage symbiote.
Yeah.
And was the Red Goblin.
He was the Red Goblin. I mean, that was fairly recent, though, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And he ended up killing.
Yeah, but because Flash dies, he's still dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we don't need to go off on this tangent. But what really kills me now about Marvel Comics is the blatant lack of ideas. Because whenever they're out of ideas, they just go back to the well. And they start creating redundant characters. I do not like redundant derivative characters. I think that it's completely devoid of ideas. I always use the comparison like this. I mean, when Stan and Jack, two of the greatest to ever do it, when they were creating Marvel Comics in the beginning, imagine if they had made 12 original characters and then everything else was just a derivative of the original 12. That's what it's like with current Marvel Comics. So, like, whenever they want to make a new character, well, this character is like Iron Man, except not. This character is
female.
This character is Thor, but it's Jane Foster. This character is the Hulk, but it's Amadeus Cho. Literally, all of the legacy characters have at least one clone. Is what I call them. Wolverine has several. Spider-Man has hundreds.
In all fairness, some of your best characters are derivatives of other characters.
You have exceptions, but they are not the rule, though. You have your She-Hulks.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? You have
Does Venom count?
Huh?
Does Venom count?
I don't think so.
No, you don't think he's a derivative of Spider-Man?
No, man, because Venom has his own separate lore. Like the Clentard have nothing to do with Peter.
That's fair.
Yeah. But I would say that I think that in terms of like Spider-Man clones, and again, there's hundreds of those motherfuckers. I say I don't even think that Jessica Drew Spider-Woman. I don't consider her a Spider clone because she's so different.
Yeah,
she's so different.
I'm not too familiar like what her deal is. I
mean,
know she's old, but I don't.
Yeah, I consider her own. She's her own thing. She just so happens to be named Spider-Woman, but she
has nothing to do with Peter Parker.
Nothing. And they even joke about that in one of the comics. Like when those two like share a room together, like they're in the same room, and and they end up talking, and it was like a kind of a funny bit, and Peter was like, "Wait, so you don't have anything to do with me?" She's like, "No." Like this.
Like the fourth wall breaking. Like, we're not related at all.
Yeah.
Even he's just kind of like, what happened? How does this happen?
but besides that, I would say like Ben Reilly and Miguel O'Hara and Miles Morales are the only ones for me that really get a pass.
Yeah.
I mean, and maybe sort of kind of Spider-Gwen, but I hate that name. It's so fucking dumb.
Gwen is better.
Or worse, Gwen Poole. Let's just take Gwen Stacy. And again, it's just the whole derivative nature. Let's take a character and just make them anything.
This character.
Yeah.
Or just fuse these. Even though Venom Pool, I don't know if you've like not Back in Black Venom or Deadpool, but there's another like I'm sure you've seen it.
Mm-hmm. I have.
That design is fucking boss.
Yeah, I mean, Agent Hulk is also, Agent H is also a cool design.
I'm not familiar with that.
No, is it Agent H?
Weapon H?
Weapon H, yeah, that's what it is.
I mean, I guess it's just Doomsday.
Well, no, it's Hulk with Wolverine claws.
Yeah, and he's got like spikes and shit sticking out of him, doesn't he? I don't know if I haven't actually looked at him in a while. It's
as lazy as it comes. It is as lazy as it comes.
Lazier than Compound Hulk?
That's pretty fucking lazy. That's pretty fucking lazy. Yeah. Yeah, it's
just recently even learned about him.
Yeah, and he's popped up ever since then on like my feeds. But it's
Sorry about that.
It's a sad state of affairs when the House of Ideas is apparently running out of ideas, and now obviously again, there are several exceptions, and speaking of those exceptions, I would say like within the past 5 to 7 years, Donny Cates, writer currently from Marvel Comics, I would say that maybe 9 out of 10 times he writes something that's really fucking phenomenal. And he's also the guy who wrote fucking King in Black that Brendon has still not read, which is why we haven't covered it on here yet.
Damn, this really was a trap, wasn't it? I feel like Akbar over here.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
How could you?
Yeah. So maybe the public shame and ridicule will get you in gear, so that we can one day.
That's fair. You're fair to be disappointed. I'm disappointed in myself. As much as I consider myself to be a Venom fanboy or Venom mark, I should be able to act. But in all fairness, the storyline, and granted, you told me I didn't have to read anything.
Yes, I did.
Anything else? But that's not the kind of person I am, and if
you want to read everything,
I need all of it. It's all, I'm the kind of person like all or nothing. I need all the side stories, anything. I don't want to miss out on
all
shit.
of it. Brendon, I own all of it, and I'm not going to read all of it.
You don't have it all stored up in here? You don't have every single second, every single panel, every single word stored in here? I don't believe you, because I've listened to these podcasts, sir.
Hey, I appreciate that, and I can't do it all. I cannot do it all.
I believe it. I believe in you, sir.
Oh, man, well, hey, I appreciate that, but
no pressure, though.
No pressure. But you also said that you want to read also Absolute Carnage, which has nothing to do.
What? No, doesn't that lead in? Does that not?
No. It comes afterwards.
Oh, is it?
I think so.
See, this is the problem. This is the problem. Why I haven't.
It is not a problem because Absolute Carnage has nothing to do with King in Black.
No, this Noel is coming, right? I haven't read it yet, so I'm just like.
Yeah, so the Donny Cates Venom run starts with Noel is coming, and
it just starts out as like a Venom.
Yeah, it's just just Venom. Yeah, Venom issue 1 basically. Yeah, and so like honestly, my recommendations would be like the first 6 issues of Donny Cates Venom, and then like from there, I would honestly say, I mean, you can read like there's a 1 or 2 issue. Mini series that comes after that. It has nothing really to do with Noel, but it's really fucking cool.
See.
But
this is the problem.
No. Follow me here, and then you can jump right to the King in Black prelude, and then I think it's just 6 issues for King in Black, and then that's it. You don't need to read anything else.
But then there's Absolute Carnage.
That has nothing to do with King in Black. Absolute Carnage.
Isn't it because of Noel that? And then there's Silver Surfer Black or.
Okay, so I've actually read
where he fights Noel.
So I've read and discussed Silver Surfer Black here on this podcast, and I've mentioned it several times afterwards as well. Very, very good story by Donny Cates. Has nothing to do with the King in Black storyline.
But it has to do with Noel, so that's like tangentially.
We are not discussing every single thing that Noel is attached to.
He's pretty new, so I would figure there was only a limited amount of stuff. I didn't think it would just.
I have 3 entire Omni on my bookshelves that spans across Noel.
You could hurt someone with that. You drop that on a baby. That baby ain't.
That was probably the darkest thing ever said on this podcast. Holy shit!
I'm just saying,
that would have never crossed my mind.
I'm not saying to drop it on a baby. I'm just saying that if you did, it probably, wouldn't end up too good because that's like.
Brendon is talking about using my omnis to make baby mash.
My God. See now you're saying baby mash. I'm not saying to beat repeatedly the baby until it turns into mash.
Oh, see, now he's talking about beating babies. This is
This is going to be taken out of context. Beat baby over the head with like no. But if you just so happen, moving on. That's a big ass book down there. That's a big ass freaking book.
Bottom line is King in Black.
That's a lot of words. Sorry.
Bottom line is King in Black. Homies harass Brendon until he finally reads it, so we can discuss it.
I don't know how to read, sir.
That explains a lot. that actually explains everything.
That's the problem. I can't read.
It's very bold of you to confess that, on the podcast like that. But hey, I admire your honesty.
What are these weird symbols that are?
Yeah, those are called letters.
Oh,
right, yeah, and then they form words.
What are those?
Well, with that being said, homies, one and all, welcome back to a very bizarre episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and today I am here with, may God so help me, Brendon. Brendon, welcome back to the show.
Hey. So are we going with, like, Walub now? Walub? Like, is it if we're going with the continuity of the last Patreon episode there?
Yeah, so on the Patreon episode that Brendon was on, which, of course, was the Super Mario Brothers 1993 movie.
The best movie of all time.
We can ignore that lie. But we, it's hard to discern this unless you guys have seen Brendon. You guys can actually see him on several episodes of Entertainment Evolved. But he, according to some people, Brendon bears a striking resemblance to the homie Caleb. And because of that, and with the Mario movie, we've taken to calling him like the equivalent of Waluigi or Wario. So Walla Caleb, we don't really know. We don't know.
And Caleb does not like any of this at all.
He does not.
He resents all of it.
Yeah,
which makes it so much better. Like now, that makes me want to embrace it.
Well,
one of us.
I think that the proper approach here to do this would be to actually start off talking about Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3.
I'm not ready, sir. I'm not ready. I don't know.
What are your expectations?
Oh, that trailer, that especially the maybe the second trailer that came out, where. Yeah, someone, if not multiple people, are going to probably not make it, and mainly, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but it's not looking good for Rocket, and I think this is targeted because I have a soft spot towards animals, and this whole thing is it's about him not making it to the movie. I don't know how well I'm going to hold up in the movie theater when we go see it.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I think that Rocket would be extremely upset if you called him an animal.
Fair enough. Trash panda.
Yeah.
What does Drax call him?
A rabbit?
Rabbit?
Yeah. No, I think Thor called him a rabbit. Somebody called him a rabbit.
Drax called him something, and it pissed him off.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
But technically, it still does seem like he started out as an actual raccoon of sorts. I don't know exactly. I'm not too, expert on the Guardians of the Galaxy comics backstories. Obviously, just like a lot of people, I've heard of mainly Rocket Raccoon from outside before the movies, as outside of the comics and stuff like that. Here and there, he's making appearances in video games and this and that. Like he's in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 just by himself, or is it 3?
He was in 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
He's just sitting there by himself. There's no, and he's in the blue the uniforms that they're going to wear in the new movie.
Yeah, the ones they're wearing on that spine behind you, the one by Dan Abnett and Andy Lanning, the best Guardians of the Galaxy run.
Yeah, that.
Yeah,
but there's no other members there for whatever reason. It's just Rocket.
It is very bizarre.
And that's just how I knew him. This kind of in passing, like not.
Yeah.
So then like I didn't put the two together that when the Guardians of the Galaxy movie comes out, I'm like, oh, that's that random ass raccoon character with the big ass gun.
Yeah. Yeah. So would you be disappointed if no one dies in this movie?
No, I would, but I kind of want that to happen, but I don't think that is.
Do you think that they could?
We've already established that Dave Bautista said he's done after this.
Well, so has Zoe Saldana and Bradley Cooper. They've also said that they're done.
Has me worried. Now Zoe, I don't know, but like especially with Brett, I didn't know that about Bradley Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of has me even more worried now. Shit.
Yeah, for Rocket. Yeah. So I guess my thing is like this, right? This movie is to a lesser degree, they are in a similar boat to Ant-Man 3, because the expectations for Ant-Man were high because of the villain. The villain of that was obviously Kang the Conqueror, and a lot of people really thought that Kang was going to come out the gate swinging and really showing himself to be a force to be reckoned with, and maybe taking out at least one member of the Ant family. And a lot of us had the idea that Kang would conquer because
You might think that.
Yeah, that we see him conquer something because he can't be beaten in Ant-Man 3, right? Because he has to come back and battle the Avengers. And so
apparently he killed Thor at one point. Was that Throg?
It must have been, yeah. Yeah, he was full of shit. There's no way that Kang killed anybody. But, we were left disappointed here. And now it wasn't just the fact that Kang didn't kill Ant-Man, but it was the fact that it was never established that he was really a threat. And if Ant-Man can beat him in a one-on-one, and if the Ant family can beat him when he has, most of his power, then what luck does he stand against the Avengers? And so the reason,
numbers, there's a lot of him.
But the other Kangs do not like him.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And
he's too Kangy for them.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And the only reason that I bring that up in comparison to like this Guardians movie is I think that for this is the last time that this gang will be together, that James Gunn and his cast of Guardians will be on screen together.
Yeah.
And they have the opportunity to really tell a very touching and telling story here. And I'm not saying that they have to die. I think that they can tell a great story.
Oh, it's going to be rough regardless. Even if no one dies, knowing that this is, I think they established this is the last Guardians movie, especially with this team, it's going to be rough.
Right.
This is just to be able to see them together, but like this, it's going to be rough. This is going to be Endgame rough, maybe. Approaching.
It could be, right? But part of the reason why Endgame was so rough is because people died.
Yeah. But,
So here's the interesting thing, right? A lot of people are focusing on the High Evolutionary, and they should. He's been played by, I believe his name is pronounced Chukwuji Iwuji. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's how you pronounce that guy's name?
I'm pretty certain. Yeah, he was in Peacemaker as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The good guy. Oh, I'm not, shouldn't
Hey,
spoil anything. It's but yeah,
we covered every episode of Peacemaker on this
fair enough.
podcast.
That's
So
true.
yeah,
Good guy, butterfly.
right. Yeah, good guy, butterfly. Yes.
They better put out season 2. Screw those other movies. Put out season 2.
Well,
James.
let's hold our horses here. Take your time. Do both, James.
No, season 2.
Anywho, the High Evolutionary here is being touted as the main villain here. What do you know about the High Evolutionary?
That his comic book iteration is very red.
Yep.
Other than that, not a whole lot. I know that his whole premise is that he's trying to make other beings around the universe better for his own, like, to fit. It's a god. He pretty much has a god complex. I guess.
Yeah.
And he wants them to fit in his own image, from what I can gather.
Not necessarily in his own image.
Not his own image,
right.
but what he thinks
perceives to be,
that they should be.
Right. And that's a pretty accurate statement there. And you know, I always view the High Evolutionary to be like a cross between Kang the Conqueror and Mr. Sinister. Yeah. And the reason I make those comparisons is because Sinister was a geneticist.
Yeah.
And so was High Evolutionary. He was also a geneticist.
That makes sense.
And that's the thing that drives both of those two men is they want to see, well, with Sinister is mostly mutant, so he wants to see thrive in his own twisted sense and then use and manipulate. Whereas with High Evolutionary, it's basically everything he wants to see. I mean, if I remember correctly, I think way back in the day when Stan and Jack made the character, I think like the first thing that he...
Is he that old?
Yeah,
wow.
He was way like 1960s. Yeah.
Wow. Really?
Yeah.
I know. Apparently, he's primarily a Fantastic Four villain.
He might be primarily that, but
yeah. Only reason that I know this is because I collect Marvel Legends, and his Marvel Legend is comes in a Fantastic Four package.
Oh yeah, so he might be. He might be one of theirs. I can see that. Most of what I read in men has been like team up books, like Avengers or
that makes sense.
Yeah,
so it might be like just like it goes back and forth.
Right.
Like, everybody catching hands.
Yeah, everybody can catch those hands. But he reminds me also a little bit of Kang, just because of his extreme intelligence and also his super suit. Very similar to that of Kang's in terms of like what it can do, which is damn near anything, you know. So the thing about High Evolutionary is that he evolved basically his own brain, so that and that's why he's so fucking intelligent. Yeah, this man is constantly playing 4D chess, so it's really hard to kind of keep up with him. And
I mean, his name is Evolution in the name, so I mean that would be hopefully he stays like this and like that in the movie, since someone doesn't want to conquer when their name is Conquer. And then we didn't have nobody conquer shit.
That's right.
So hopefully we have someone that is evolved.
You know, that'd be nice. And we watched the latest trailer before we sat down to record here, and you made the remark that he looked a little bit like RoboCop without his helmet on.
Yes,
and he kind of does.
The edges of his face kind of peeled back over, like, which is pretty gnarly.
It is very gnarly. It makes me think that he has definitely done work to himself here in the movie.
But no red.
That's killing it, huh?
It is. Like, just put some kind of callback to the comic.
They probably will.
Yeah, hopefully. Probably at the end. Like, oh, now he's in all red at the end. Like,
right.
Like, this is not fair.
But, I mean, I was going to say that, like, you know, in one of his first appearances, like, I think that what he ended up doing was one of the first things he ever, like, evolved was his dog.
Oh no!
Yeah.
No! Oh God, no! Not the dog. Don't mess with the dog.
I've always kind of viewed the High Evolutionary as he's a villain,
Is
and
he
like
Victor Frankenstein version of from Marvel?
oh, that's a fair comparison. If Dr. Frankenstein didn't stop at the one creature and did multiple things,
I think he did go on to do multiple things.
did he?
He did. Who did Bride of Frankenstein? Did Frankenstein create Bride of Frankenstein, or did Victor?
Did Mary Shelley have anything to do with that?
I don't know.
I just have the distinct feeling that Mary Shelley had nothing to do with like Bride of Frankenstein. I don't know. That just seems a little sophomoric for her. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. I don't know Frankenstein lore like that.
Yeah. Me either. That's probably why we focus on comic books here. We're not too keen on things past that perimeter. Yeah.
No, we don't do the classical highbrow stuff here.
That's right. As highbrow as I go is Watchmen.
As highbrow as I go is the '93 Super Mario Brothers movie.
So the bar is down in the Earth's core. Gotcha. You can't even find the bar.
It is the bar. The Earth is the bar.
But in terms of like his power set, the High Evolutionary, I mean, he's got a vast array of powers. A lot comes from his own evolved brain, which is like psionic abilities and telekinesis.
Damn, he can just do everything, can't he?
He's virtually unkillable. What the fuck? Because of his suit, you really can't kill him. You can try to you can stop him. Maybe
they said about Kang the Conqueror.
Well, the thing about Kang is that you can kill him, but he won't stay dead. Kang is almost like the Reverse Flash. Like with the Reverse Flash, he's a fucking paradox, and he knows it. Yep. So I mean,
y'all made an excellent point on one podcast. I forgot. Someone called him a glorified Booster Gold.
That would have been Caleb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that was definitely him.
Which kind of tracks.
Yeah, it does. It's
pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Which at this point, I can't really tell the difference. Other than Booster Gold's kind of an idiot, right?
Yeah, and Booster Gold, he seeks validation by using a bunch of somewhat modern day technology from his time to go back into this era to to fight crime with and make himself a superhero. I mean, so and that's what I dig about the character.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, and I think
Other
that there's
than being exposed and dying instantly.
When did he die instantly?
No, I'm saying you run the risk of just
you're
just a dude, but you just have stuff.
I guess not. I don't know why we're talking about Booster Gold here, but to put it into
that's what I'm here for, to derail the shit out of your podcast.
Well, hey, that's what all my guests do. So welcome aboard.
It's payback because you brought me here to trap. You trapped me here to ridicule. Now I must derail the ridiculization.
I regret nothing.
I don't know if that's a word, but we're making that a word.
But I guess to put it into context for those of you who aren't familiar with Booster, because he is going to get his own TV show. With Booster, it would be like if you were to sneak into a very, very advanced military base that currently exists. Still a bunch of their Kevlar, their gear, their boots, their guns, grenades, weaponry, lasers, whatever, and then go back to medieval times. That's kind of what Booster did. It's the equivalent.
So he just stole all his shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow, he didn't even make it.
No,
or not make it, but I guess whatever Kang did to acquire his stuff.
I am fairly certain.
Kang was a genius, right?
Kang was a genius. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'm fairly certain that in most tellings, Booster stole his gear to do that.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Poor Booster.
But I mean, as far as the High Evolutionary goes, it looks like in terms of the movie, the High Evolutionary is the one who's responsible for creating Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it. Was that how did any kind of comic?
I don't know. I honestly do not know. Yeah. Hey, stop motioning. I don't have everything. Okay.
You do have everything. It does not. I can't tell if you what. There's probably the shorter list of things that you don't have than you do.
Hey, listen. Okay. Even if I did, the information would be in the books, not inside my cranium.
Why not? Did you read all of this, right?
Well, yeah, just let me download all the information.
That's how that works, right?
Yeah, that's exactly how that works. Yeah. I glance at a single page and the information is stored.
Hold it forever.
That's right.
Not helping. No. The shit that you do know is bounds and leaps at like the amount of stuff that you have just been able to rattle off. I'm less like, this is like, why, how does someone have this much knowledge in their head of this particular something very specific, like the most specific things?
The answer is simple, Brendon. I'm not good at anything else, so I needed to pick one thing. And I chose comic books.
I don't believe you, sir. You're very swole. You're good at lifting things.
Well, thank you, but that doesn't require any intellect. Okay, it requires a minimum amount of intellect.
We're not talking about good at intellectual things. We're talking about good at things. You said you were good at things. That's the thing. So.
God damn it. We're going to make Brendon good at reading King in Black so he can come over here and discuss the story.
I have to learn how to read first.
It's going to be a long road.
Especially with that book that you used to kill babies.
I don't kill babies with any of my books. I don't kill babies at all. Let me put that out there. I am not a baby killer. All right.
You were just talking about putting a baby, making him into Smash or Mash or what, smashing him into Mash.
You're the one who keeps bringing this up. For the record,
you have a baby killing sized book.
Why does it have to be a baby killing sized book? It can't be something else.
It is massive.
You can't say, man, if there was a watermelon on the ground and you dropped the book on top of the watermelon would smash.
I mean, that's true, though.
That's better than saying, hey, man, there's a baby on the floor and you just so happen to drop one of your omnis.
Why would you do such a thing? Why would you? I can't believe you would say that.
Yeah, homies. So this has been another episode of Superhero Homies.
I can't believe you want to damn kill babies with your books.
I have never even thought of that until you came here.
And it's with King in Black and like his evil book.
Yeah, that's dark. That's really. I mean, and if I were going to do it with any book, I'd probably do it with Avengers versus X-Men. I believe that is currently the biggest Marvel omni. It edges out King in Black. I think the top two would be Avengers versus X-Men, and then War of the Realms would be number 2. For DC, it is definitely Blackest Night.
Biggest, that's a big one. That's a big one over there. Yeah.
But if I really wanted to off someone, I would just grab Big Damn Sin City and be done with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah. But now
you put thought into this.
Now that we are officially moving on from bludgeoning people to death with books, let's talk a little bit more about what we kind of hope or expect to see from this movie here.
Hopefully not bludgeoning people with books.
Hopefully not. One can only
be kind of
hope.
weird if there was See, now I kind of just want there to be a scene where someone's bludgeoning someone with a book in the movie.
Well, maybe I don't know. In one of the John Wick spinoffs, someone can do that.
Oh yeah.
But so we don't have a whole lot of information in this movie in terms of like how this story plays out. Again, we do know that there will be some kind of reckoning with Rocket facing his past with the High Evolutionary. We know that even from like the previous Guardian movies that he has some kind of trauma from his creation. We don't know how much of it he remembers, and we don't know.
Definitely a touchy subject for him.
Oh yeah. He's extremely touchy about it, and it does seem, at least from the trailers, that maybe Rocket will be more the driving force of this movie. I think that if anything, it's going to be a bit of a red herring. I think that they're setting it up to look like Rocket dies.
That's definitely a possibility.
But I'm going to make a hot take and say that I think Rocket lives, and it's going to be somebody else.
Drax?
I think it's a high probability that Drax bites it.
We definitely know someone is in not good shape because we see them all gathered around and not very happy.
Yeah.
Very distraught, in fact, which has me. The trailer kind of has you believe that could be Drax because it has him kind of limping along with a hole in his chest or a blast mark or something going on.
And also, we don't see a whole lot of Drax in any of these trailers.
No, just like little snippets here and there, and that's about it.
Yeah. And Dave Bautista, he strikes me as the type of person who would ask for his character to be killed.
Yeah, he seems to be kind of done with the whole character. He doesn't like as much as he enjoyed the character. He just doesn't wants it to end, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
as ominous as that may sound.
Yeah, but you look at like Drax in comparison to the other characters, and it's like they've all, I think, have had way more growth or expansion than he has.
Yeah.
I mean, Peter has obviously gone through a lot, and we've seen him kind of grow and evolve. Same thing with Gamora. Same thing with Nebula. I mean, we've even seen Mantis come along a little bit.
He's grown. He's wearing a shirt now, and we established how sensitive his nipples are.
Guardians Volume 2 did him no favors. They really didn't.
It still was good. Nah.
Good is a subjective word in this.
I enjoyed
objective
myself.
word, yeah.
I mean, I get that my tastes aren't
refined. Yeah.
I would say the most refined.
Is that what you would say? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, yeah. Anywho, I don't think that they kill off Gamora.
No, I don't think
she's already died. It would be ridiculous to kill her again.
I think that they might have her go off, or maybe if I had to make any predictions, they might have her and Peter go off and do their own thing. If Peter can finally get that version of Gamora to stop kicking the shit out of him.
Right. Yeah. So here's the thing, right? I think there's a possibility. So let's say that Rocket dies. Let me ask you this first. If Rocket does die, and they continue to make more Guardians movies, do you think that they would have Groot without Rocket, or do you think that it's a package deal?
See, that's what I think is going to happen is that they might,
a little bit closer here for me.
My bad. What I think is going to happen is they might pull the kind of a similar situation with it that they did in the first one, to where the original Groot died in the first one. Spoilers. And then they have an offspring kind of take his place. They might do a similar situation if they do end up another maybe raccoon or experimented being that looks similar to Rocket. That's a baby. Because that we don't know for sure that that's Rocket that is being.
I guess you're right, unless there's a planet of just raccoons.
Well, I mean, there's multiple raccoons, I think, in that little area that he's grabbing from.
Maybe.
And there's a whole planet that they land on is these animal people.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how much that would, how much weight that holds, or.
Yeah, I think that they probably. So here's what I think is going to happen, right? Like, I think that just because of the Guardians' name, like the name value, they being Disney probably would want to continue on making more Guardians movies. Okay. It's going to be really difficult because you won't have your main roster, and you also won't have James Gunn. But what you do have, we know you will have. Peter Quill, which is arguably the most important part. You have Chris Pratt, and there you have Mantis, and that might be it. Because we know that Drax is gone, Gamora is gone, and more than likely, with Bradley Cooper leaving, Rocket is gone. And that doesn't mean these characters die, but it means that they're going to retire.
Did Vin Diesel say anything?
He said, "I am Groot."
Fair enough.
And family. But I don't know about Groot. But okay,
he's still doing the voice? He's still doing the voice.
He's still doing the voice. Yeah. Okay. For some reason, they have more than enough. I'm sure.
Now he's buff Groove.
Yeah. By the way, quick sidebar. I think the design for Groot looks weird.
Yeah, he looks like. I was thinking this when the Christmas special came out. Mm-hmm. When he first, I literally thought it was someone in a suit.
That's what it looked like, right?
It looks like someone in a mascot suit.
I agree. Yeah.
Like it looked like, and then you get like that's CG. That's supposed to look like that. Like what? Why is he goes from this spindly looking teenager to just this thick boy. Yeah. Like looking like he's, some kind of mascot on a football team.
That is what he looks like. They've had an interesting history with Groot in these movies because Groot actually started off as a villain in the comic. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
That's why he looks kind of scary.
He looks scary as hell in the comics.
Scary as fuck in the comics. They don't have these doe eyes and little smile.
They Disneyed up Groot to hell and back in these movies. He is a very scary looking creature in the comics. Yeah.
Which I kind of just wish they kind of made him a little bit more intimidating.
Right. Because he looks so, like you said, so soft and approachable. Yeah. Whereas in the comics,
sell them toys, man.
They got to sell them toys. But also, in the beginning, he spoke full sentences and full words. Oh yeah, he would give like villain monologues and whatnot.
So I never even thought about that in the comics.
So there's this really cool story, right? And I call this like proto Guardians of the Galaxy. Because it takes place after Annihilation, but before the Guardians of the Galaxy run, right? And Peter Quill, I think he's underneath Nova Corps at this time, but he has to put together a group to go do like some kind of really dangerous heist. And we get Peter, I believe we get Mantis, we get this other character. I think his name is Loverbug. He has like antennae. He's green. Yeah.
Is it like a male mantis?
Something like, but he doesn't have like Mantis like abilities or anything. Yeah. We get Rocket.
Mantis in the comics is hot.
She's the Celestial Madonna, man. Yeah. Yeah.
Like she's not that she's bad looking in the movies, but they don't. Obviously they Disneyfied her, and then
you can't have her.
And sexy, can't be a sexy antenna lady. Isn't she green in the comics as well?
She goes. Oh well. At one point she's green, then she has like pale skin, so it's a weird thing.
Weird.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, so and then you have Rocket. So yeah, you have like this team up of like Peter, Mantis, Loverbug, Rocket, Groot, and there might have been one other new person. I don't remember.
That the name for a character.
Yeah, he has like an actual name, but I think like Peter mostly calls him Loverbug.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's a nickname from Peter. That makes more sense.
Right.
So is Peter a smartass in the comics, like he is in his movies? Like
So he's less goofy in the comics.
Okay, there's a little bit more.
Yeah, like when it's time to get serious, he's. He can get serious, but I mean, the movies do retain a lot of that Peter Quill in the movies.
Okay.
So I was never really mad at the portrayal. Sometimes James Gunn has a tendency to lean a little bit too much into the comedy. Like he doesn't. He's not like Taika Waititi. Taika doesn't know when to reel it in.
Yeah. At least most of the time James Gunn comedy lands.
It lands, and he knows when to reel it in and when to kind of shift gears, So, the only reason that I bring up that team is because it was interesting looking at that team and then knowing that, okay, they didn't even know at that time that they were going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy, like with the current iteration. Like
that's crazy.
Yeah, because that team wasn't even called Guardians of the Galaxy. As a matter of fact, Groot dies in that story, and then when he comes back, he's the I Am Groot.
Really?
Yeah.
So it just kind of from the first movie, they kind of just did that, but kind of in reverse.
A little bit, yeah.
But they still just kept. So that led me to my other question that just got answered. Like, what happened to Groot to where he stopped speaking? And
so, at the time, no one knew, and I don't think anyone answered it.
So he didn't get reborn as an offspring like he did in the movies. No. He
is technically still, I believe, the same entity.
Okay.
As far as I understand.
Well, he just couldn't. He just came back not being able to speak other than who he was.
Yeah, just started saying, I am Groot. Yeah.
No explanation at all.
I don't know. I don't know if the writers intended to like come back and explore it and then, got pulled from the book before they could. I don't know.
It's interesting.
Yeah. It's a very interesting choice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it definitely worked out for them in the movies, I guess. Marketing and all that nonsense.
I guess well, never mind. I was going to say it's kind of similar to like, Black Bolt. He can't speak at all, and so it's really difficult to write a character who can't speak.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, he can speak, but, it'd be catastrophic.
Yeah, probably shouldn't.
Yeah, probably shouldn't speak ever.
Ever.
Yeah.
Unless he has no mouth and then he just chooses to speak.
Let's talk about the wild card in this movie, Adam Warlock.
Yeah, so the We Are the Millers kids.
Will Poulter. I was very hesitant when I first heard the casting news.
Yeah.
But I mean, seeing him, in the trailers, I'm much more comfortable with it now.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting choice for casting. He's definitely, obviously that movie being as old as it is, he's definitely grown up a bit.
Right.
So he's a little bit more adult looking. So a little bit more, you can take him serious instead of, still has those crazy ass eyebrows as he's known to have. But yeah, he is. I wish they kind of went with the whole like longer hair style.
Oh yeah, that the one that's on that spine behind you, the Infinity War.
Yeah,
he's got the longer, shaggier hair. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like a little like let his facial features and his hair not be so monotone. Like he's just orange face, orange hair, orange just facial features like eyebrows. You know, it is for someone that has such distinct eyebrows. You would think you would not want to hide them.
Right.
Like, you cast this guy for a reason. He looks kind of weird.
Have you played the Guardians of the Galaxy video game?
I have not. I wanted to. It looks good.
It's very good. Yeah.
It looks like they took a lot of inspiration from they just kind of took like comics and the movies and just kind of melded them together.
That's exactly what they did to a tremendous result.
It looks very well made.
Yeah.
It's just my backlog is a mile long and a half.
I understand that more than anybody. Yeah, I get it.
And not to mention, I got to pick and choose which games, and most of the time I'm just broke and just can't buy all the games that I want. But it did look good.
The curse of being an adult. Yeah, I get it. I bring that up because Adam Warlock is also in that game.
Spoilers? God.
I didn't say what he does.
I didn't know he was in the game.
Spoiler alert, guys. Adam Warlock is in the Guardians of the...
You son of a bitch. He's not in any of the promotional material.
He's not, is he?
No.
Oh, man.
God damn it. First John Wick and now this.
Okay, to my credit, I didn't spoil John Wick for you. No, it was Wade who spoiled John Wick, and then I said, spoiler alert.
I don't know if you listen to this, Wade, but I don't know how those bus tires feel. Shit. All of those bus tires is going. I hope that bus ain't heavy. Fuck. I'm sorry, Wade. Shit.
Oh, God. See, you almost make me feel bad. Almost.
You should. I can't believe this. So now, it does make me want to play it more, but God damn it. Okay. All right.
Oops.
All right.
Well, okay, I tell you what, you don't even know what he does in the game.
It doesn't matter. He's in the game. He does Adam Warlock stuff. He fucks shit up. That's what he does. That's what he should have been in the movies long time. He should have been in place of Captain Fuckface.
100%.
And not America, obviously.
Yeah. We're not talking about Captain America.
Or either him or fucking
Marvel.
Nova.
Or Nova, yeah.
Which they teased in Guardians too.
They teased if you want to be honest, they teased Nova in Guardians 1, 2, Infinity War. I mean,
so how of all the people you just like nah?
They just completely passed by Nova. Yeah,
like the first movie came out in what 2014.
Yep.
So we are going 10 years off of a tease. Almost 10 years off of a tease for this character that everybody thought was going to be in it by like at least.
I'll do you one better. So you remember the character? He was in Guardians 1 and 2. What's the actor's name? He's always
John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. He played Roman Day. That's the character he played in the Guardians movies. Roman Day is the character who, crash lands on Earth and bestows Richard Rider with the Nova helmet.
Really?
Yeah. And so I'm like, so we have the precursor to, Richard Rider's Nova. And
so, like, do we, is like, as much as we don't want to, do we have James Gunn to blame at all? As much as we don't, want to? So
when it comes to bringing in, major characters like that, I don't know if that's...
I mean, it seems like he tried, and then
that's true, yeah.
And Marvel's like, nah, fam, not yet.
Well, see, I thought at first that we were going to see Nova in Endgame, because if you remember, in Infinity War, it starts off with the destruction of Xandar, the Nova homeworld. And, in the original Annihilation comics, when Xandar is destroyed and the Nova Corps is wiped out, only Richard Rider was left, and so all of the Nova force was given to him, and he became the Nova.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that's a perfect opportunity to...
I thought that was what we were leaning towards, and then just get to Marvel. No! What? We don't need... No.
Yeah.
I mean, not even, it's not even her being female, which like she would like you to believe. No, she's just boring.
She is incredibly boring, but
and not to mention is a character that no one likes in the comics apparently.
Yeah,
and that has skipped lines of being in the movies where there's so many other cooler characters that need to be in the movies.
Yeah. There's a lot of line skippers now. Victoria Alonso was really a big blame for that. But Kevin Feige approved that bullshit. So I mean, but a lot of those line skippers had
the Avenger kids.
Yeah.
Are they called the Young Avengers?
Young Avengers.
Like Young Justice.
Hey, there they go.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
Oh, God.
Who's on this cover here? I have the Young Avengers books right here because I ran out of bookshelf space. Yeah, we got Hulkling.
Oh, God, that's a thing?
That's a thing.
I forgot that was
we got
Hulk?
Kate Bishop.
I don't even want it.
America Chavez.
Of course.
Who else we have on here? Oh, that's Wiccan.
This is the kids that caused a bunch of people, the Illuminati, to die, apparently.
Basically, yep. He's not on the cover, but Kid Loki, he's in here as well. Yep.
And that's just not even Loki's kid. That's just like an alternate dimension of Loki.
Yeah.
Or is that?
I almost spoiled that for you, but I'm not. Because that's a really cool story with Kid Loki, anyway. Yeah. And then there's the OG Young Avengers.
That's not even the first. There's an OG Young Avengers. Are you shitting me?
That's the one with like stature and.
So she was.
Yeah.
So are they just combining both teams?
So was Iron Lad, who was it's a king.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nathaniel Richards.
Yeah, Nathaniel Richards. Yeah. Patriot.
What was Patriot? I thought he was older. Because weirdly enough, they had him in the Agents of the Shield.
Well, no, he was in Falcon and Winter Soldier. You remember Elijah Bradley, the old man who Sam goes to visit? Yeah. You remember his grandson?
Oh, that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What? I'm trying to. It doesn't matter. It's not important. There was a Captain America like character that was in the Marvel comics that was in Agents of Shield.
I didn't watch much of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't know.
It was pretty good. They had a lot of good stuff in it. They had their version of Robbie Reyes is better than the comics. Yeah. Because it's not just some random-ass demon or serial killer that turns him into, it's actually...
Zerathos?
It's actually, they make him part of their lineage.
Right.
As much as we bitch about that being a thing.
Yeah.
And they do a better job, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
They have, what's his name? The guy that can touch stuff and his body becomes a part of it.
The Absorbing Man?
Yes, Absorbing Man's in it.
Really?
Yes.
He's technically OP as fuck. There's one time he touched Mjolnir and became Uru. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Damn, that wasn't in the show. No.
Because how do you stop that,
Yeah. Even though Lady Sif is in the show. So that was when they were trying to... that was when it was technically kind of still
part of
the MCU.
Yeah.
Even though they kind of... to me, it's still MCU. So Quake is...
I heard about Quake. She was in there.
Daisy's one of the main characters. They have Hive.
Yeah.
He shows up. There's a lot of random ass pulls that they have in there.
Yeah.
It's definitely worth a watch if you get a chance.
So back to Guardians. We were talking about Adam Warlock, and then we spun off into Nova and into what should have been, but.
This is what happens when you get comic nerds together.
This is what you guys get. This is what you guys get. But so with Adam Warlock, right? He's been teased since Guardians 2.
I'm still mad
about Nova.
No, I'm so mad about Adam Warlock in the game. God damn it! Anyway,
I don't know how you guessed that he was going to be in the game like that. That's really astute of you.
Yeah.
That was a really good guess, Brendon.
Anyway, the friggin' The Guardians movie. Damn it.
Oh shit. Oh, that's good times. I wonder what else I'm going to spoil for you in the future.
Probably. There's plenty.
So you never guessed this, but Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
What?
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
Shit you not. Yeah.
Shit, I thought I was saying I was here and I thought he was Leia's father.
You're never gonna believe this.
Oh, what?
Yep. He is.
What?
Yep.
So that means
that Luke and Leia are brother and sister.
And that means that when they kiss.
Yep. Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yep.
George.
Yep.
How could you, nasty ass?
George, we all know he had a crush on his sister growing up.
Damn.
I'm kidding. Damn. George, don't sue me. That was a joke.
If for whatever reason George Lucas listens to this podcast,
he was the biggest fan of the show until then.
Like, no, I'm done now. Yeah. He just said I was trying to bang my sister. Well, I mean, in your writing, it kind of follows, Anyway,
but so what role do you think Adam Warlock's going to play in this movie?
An ass kicker.
For which side?
His.
That's fair, actually. That is fair. Yeah.
I don't think he gives a shit except what he wants.
Yeah.
If I don't know too much about Adam Warlock, but from what I've gathered, and I sure as hell didn't gather any information from the video game.
You should have stopped me before I said something.
I didn't know you were going to say that. I was like,
well, that's not my fault that you didn't know what I was going to say.
I'm sorry, I'm not Professor X.
Yeah, you should be.
Goddamn.
You should read my mind, but then you still know, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. I would get spoiled even more.
Yep. Oh yeah, you know everything.
I need a mind blocker. Or however that goes. Anyway, yeah, he's. I've got a feeling from what I've gathered about Adam Warlock, he's kind of in it for himself. It's too bad that we don't have the Infinity Gauntlet anymore because he's kind of.
Right. There's been moments in the MCU that always made me scratch my head. And this is one of them. Like the first time that really made me scratch Iron Man 3, but that's a whole nother thing.
Dude, can you imagine if we had gotten I'm sorry. This popped in my mind. Can you imagine if we had gotten Nova and Adam Warlock?
That would have been amazing.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah, that would have been.
You know how much shit would have got wrecked.
So, like, the crazy thing is that, like, if I'm the MCU, I would start, metaphorically speaking, building real estate in the cosmic universe.
Do you think they didn't want them because they were so OP?
I mean, here's the thing, all right? It's like Adam Warlock would be the one who could actually go toe-to-toe with Thanos. But even then, it's always been more about signs of respect for one another, more so than, like, beating the shit out of each other. Thanos has a deep admiration for Adam Warlock, yeah.
Okay.
And, I mean, even at the end of Infinity Gauntlet, like, Warlock is talking with Thanos, and he gets Thanos to admit that, yeah, you lost because you wanted to lose. You know that you didn't deserve this power.
See, now that's spoiled for me. No. No, that's my fault. Any comic stuff that...
And that's a 30-year-old comic book, so...
Any comic stuff that gets spoiled for me at this point, it's just like, okay.
Yeah, I try not to spoil... I haven't spoiled King in Black for you, have I?
Not yet. Not yet. Day ain't over.
That's all right. We still got time. But Adam in the movies, he was first teased in Guardians 2. That came out in like 2017, I want to say.
Yeah, so 16 or 17, something like that.
Oh, yeah, one of those two. And at the end of that movie, we see Aisha, who is the leader of the Universal Church of Truth. She has a cocoon, and she calls it Adam. And
we all got excited as fuck.
Oh yeah,
and
because that was pre-Infinity War, and so yeah,
and for no fucking reason. And then like everybody's like wondering like where the fuck is Adam Warlock?
Right.
Just all this shit going down. No Adam Warlock.
Yeah, no Adam Warlock. Yeah.
How do you drop the ball on like as good as Infinity War and Endgame are? How do you fuck that up? Like how do you not go for the home run? It's just a gimme.
It's hard, right? Because we're comic book fanboys, and so it's hard for us to separate, the roles that these characters play in the comic books versus like the logistics of the movies. Because at the end of the day, the movies were always going to be about the core 6 Avengers, and I mean, it is what it is. Whereas in the comic books, you can just do a lot more. I mean, in Infinity Gauntlet, you have the X-Men, like Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom. I mean, everybody
It's
in
like
Avengers.
Smash Brothers, everyone is here.
Yeah. And Thanos puts them all down. I mean, he turns Wolverine into rubber, like and just drops them. Yeah, and
I mean, he can make them all just disappear if he wanted.
Just had fun, and then he gives Captain America like a one-on-one opportunity, and Cap doesn't give up, but it's all to no avail.
Is that what the callback was in Infinity War?
That's what I took it as. Yeah.
They did a decent job.
Yeah, I think so.
It's like it's not too prolonged out.
Right.
I don't know how long prolonged that was in the comics.
Yeah,
but like just a nod here, just Captain America trying to
to
fight him hand to hand.
Yeah,
like and Thanos like what the.
Yeah. And even the fight in the comic book they had was very cool too. At one point, Thanos, because Cap is doing good. I mean, he's Cap.
Yeah.
But at one point, Thanos he like manipulates the ground to like sprout hands and grab Cap by the feet so he can't move.
I'm glad you said by the feet. I was like,
grab him right on the ass. Said that's America's ass. Yeah, no, that's.
I was thinking it's like grab him by the balls. I'm like
they
goddamn.
Grabbed him right by the dick, right by the tree trunk, and Cap didn't know what to do.
America's dick.
That's right.
Which showed up on Instagram. Oh, damn. We forgot about that, didn't we?
Yeah. But yeah, so while it would have been great to see both Nova and Adam Warlock in Infinity War or Endgame or both, because they play such a big part of especially Adam Warlock plays a really big part for Thanos. And as far as Nova goes, he should have wanted revenge for the destruction of Xandar.
Yeah.
I mean, but hell, even Marvel and Adam Warlock were Thanos' 2 biggest foes. And
the old lady and this orange guy.
I will never forgive the MCU for
I
what
want
they
to
did
see
to
that
Marvel.
old lady beat the shit out of Thanos. I would pay to see that. I want that movie. That random ass old lady.
I don't want to see that bastardized version of Marvel ever again. Ever again.
It might not just happen.
No. No. That was not Marvel. I don't know what that was. It was
the new and improved Marvel. Marvel made some choices, sir.
Apparently.
She did have a sweet bomber jacket, though.
Well, I mean, I guess that's something, right? Yeah. But
sorry, I didn't mean to bring up those bad memories.
Yeah, those are very bad memories. And I get to do it all over again when Captain Marvel 2 comes out. Hooray!
Marvel's gonna be in that shit.
Oh no.
At least her suit looks better now.
Oh yeah, because that's the biggest problem. The suit. Yeah.
I mean,
Anywho,
These are important things, man.
Yeah, so as far as Adam Warlock goes, I am curious what has caused him to hatch from his cocoon now.
Yeah, and not 10 years ago.
Yeah, not
when
yeah.
we actually needed him. Anyway, sorry.
How long has he been out? What's he been up to? And how long is it going to take for him to kind of understand the scape of the world that he's in? Because, you know, in the comics, it's like when he, you know, gets out of that cocoon, he's not even given a name for the first couple of issues. He's just referred to as him. It's supposed to be it's kind of heavy on like the Christ metaphor, you know. So instead of him being like, you know, the great I am, he's referred to as him, and also the fact that he comes from the Universal Church of Truth, you know, and he's also a product of AIM as well. So there's a little bit of conjuncture there. Yeah.
Now I'm sad because AIM, and then we'll never get a MCU.
We could get AIM. We haven't got AIM yet.
Yeah.
Oh, you talking about MODOK?
Yeah.
Yeah. They fucked that up too.
He's not a dick. He's not a dick, sir. And he's a member of the Avengers. That's canon now.
It's not canon.
They said it was canon.
That's not canon. They never specifically said that was canon. I don't have to choose to believe that's canon.
Imagine MODOK being up there with just imagine MODOK just showing up in the middle of the first Avengers movies where they're doing the whole spin around money shot, and you just see MODOK with his weird ass. Just, I am not a. No.
Yeah,
I'm sorry. That's what I'm here for, to provide these visuals.
Yeah, to traumatize me again. Apparently, with Marvel's worst choices.
That's what I'm here for.
I think that Adam Warlock is probably going to be manipulated by the High Evolutionary. If I had to guess, or either that, or it's probably the idea of High Evolutionary viewing Adam as the perfect man and wanting to utilize him.
And just either, do you think he wants to use him for parts or just use him as a blueprint?
Probably as a blueprint. Like he has like his base henchmen in the comics. I think they're called he calls them new men. Yeah.
New man.
New men. Yep.
And that's just like, that's not a name. That's
no,
like,
it's the name of like his henchmen.
Oh.
Yeah, like his group of So maybe I don't.
Is that a Kirby name? That
it could be actually.
It sounds like something Kirby would come up with.
It could be. I mean,
he had that dad energy, that dad joke energy about the way he named things.
Kirby was the lore guy in Marvel Comics. I mean, he was the lore guy everywhere. That's the thing that he was mainly known for. I mean, I guarantee you that when they made Black Panther, it was Kirby who came up with like, okay, so let's make Wakanda, and it's going to be this place that's rich with resources. It's going to be vibranium, and there's going to be this Panther goddess. And I guarantee you Kirby came up with that. Kirby came up with the Eternals, which is modern day mythology. When he went to DC, he made the New Gods. I mean, his original run on Thor, like Kirby was such a lore guy. He would have loved to have been a DM in D&D.
Oh God,
yeah. Kirby would have loved that.
He would have been DM God.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to Adam Warlock.
Yeah,
man.
I was gonna ask you.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know if you could tell me more about like what, especially more towards his comic iteration. What is he like? What is his backstory? Where does he come from?
Where did he go?
Where did he go? Cotton Eye Joe. Yes. I saw it coming. As soon as it came out of my mouth. Yeah.
Saw it with your cotton eye.
Yep. Is it cotton eye right here?
That's right. Third eye.
The third eye is that jewel right there.
Yep.
That's what I'm calling it for now.
Except there is no more soul gem, so I don't know what he has right there.
Birthmark.
Oh, okay.
It's cotton eye.
Yep.
I'm sorry. Anyway, like what is his? I get he's supposed to be kind of a Jesus analog, or even maybe a Superman of sorts.
I've always just took it more as like the Christ analog. Marvel has definitely more on the nose Superman analogs, like Hyperion or Sentry or even Blue Marvel.
Yeah, that makes sense. It'd be cool if you think Blue Marvel is going to be in the Marvels movie.
And I hope not, because I don't need to see him get butchered along with the rest of them.
He's an old white lady too.
Yeah, they make Blue Marvel an old white lady too, just for fuck's sake. I'm gonna be turbo pissed. Turbo pissed.
Turbo pissed. The maximum turbo pissed.
What's the lowest score I can give that movie?
Negative. It's going into
it's going to negative.
You owe me a movie now. You owe me points.
You cannot.
You sons of bitches.
You cannot do that to Blue Marvel. You sons of bitches. God damn it.
I hope I didn't speak that into existence. God. And they're just Blue Marvel and Marvel are just like roomies. They're they're besties.
Pretty sure they've never met. But in this universe of yours, in this dark timeline that you created.
It's the MCU, sir.
No. No.
I mean, half of it's already come true.
Anywho.
It's canon.
What were you saying about about Adam Warlock before you made me angry again?
Just was he created? Was he born? Is he more of a something that they created as a weapon? What's his backstory?
So
essentially,
AIM is always doing weird, fucked up experiments.
Oh yeah, you did say it was from
yeah. And so technically, he came from AIM, and he was a spin-off creation of them. And he was just known simply as him, and he was an adversary to the Avengers. But it wasn't like he was outright antagonistic towards them. It was one of those situations where they didn't know what he was about. They wanted to approach with caution. He had very little understanding of anything or of the world. You know what I mean? And so he felt, he felt threatened. He attacked. But eventually he's found by the Universal Church of Truth, and because he goes into outer space, and he's found by the church, and it's there, I believe, when he enters the cocoon, and when he comes out, eventually he evolves into what we know as Adam Warlock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the cocoon didn't create him. He didn't come out of the cocoon when he was created.
No, it's been so long since I read his origin, because this is again back in like the Kirby and Stan days, I believe.
Sounds like a hyperbolic time chamber to me. A
little bit, yeah. I mean, at least like mentally, physically he was always, Adam, But.
So they kind of used the cocoon to kind of program his mind, to kind of give him an actual personality and an individualism.
Yeah, this is another one of those cases where like he was created by Stan Lee, but really Jim Starlin is the guy who did the most work on him. Just like with Thanos, Thanos was created by Starlin, but like you have so many other characters who were created by Stan that other writers really fleshed out. Mm-hmm. That's how it is with Adam Warlock. Like it was really Jim Starlin who put more emphasis on like the Magus, which is the evil side of Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is that the trailers don't show anything about Magus, but that doesn't mean he's not in the movie.
That's a hell of a name, Magus.
Yeah.
It's metal as fuck.
Yeah.
So does he look different?
He does. He does.
Really? Okay.
I wish I had a picture for you. Man.
I'm sure it's in one of those books.
Look at the back of Infinity War on the left-hand side. Yeah. I think maybe there's a picture of him on there, but he's purple. So like Adam Warlock is obviously golden. But the Magus, that persona of him is purple with white hair. Thankfully, over time they've changed the design of the hair. Originally, the Magus looked kind of fucking ridiculous. He was purple, but the white hair is like like those afros that old white ladies get.
It's like a perm.
It's like a perm, yeah. And it did not look good at all.
So,
yeah.
like, for whatever reason, his hair went from straight to curly.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was a straight up fro. I'm like, what is? He looks
fros are evil.
Apparently, fros are evil is what they're trying to tell us.
Yeah. Shit.
Thankfully, over the years, they've redesigned that thing.
Did he have a fro in the game, sir? Does Magus show up in the game? I bet he does.
I'm not saying anything, Brendon. I would hate to spoil it for you.
Oh, would you? Would you?
I would hate to spoil the epic boss fight.
God damn it. Don't you do it. Don't you do this to me. You son of a bitch.
Oh, goddamn. But I wouldn't be surprised if Magus is in the game. Like, in the game. Shit. In the movie. I wouldn't be surprised.
You son of a bitch. God damn it. See, now that's established. Anyway. Movie.
Movie. Magus may or may not be in the game. He may or may not be in the movie. Time will tell.
Yeah.
But it would be really cool if he's in the movie. But I don't know if...
It would be cool if he's in the game, too.
Hey, that'd be really cool. Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yep. But I don't know if the movie has any room for Adam Warlock, the Magus, and High Evolutionary, you know.
Do you think that they're going to go with the route? Well, no, they can't, because they've already established that he came from the cocoon. I thought for a second there, like, did High Evolutionary create or build?
Maybe.
Or
maybe High Evolutionary takes the cocoon and evolves it.
Maybe High Evolutionary makes him into Magus.
That could. Oh, that's actually a really good idea. That's a really good theory.
He captures him somehow,
right?
And does whatever the fuck, and then that's how he becomes Magus.
That's a really strong theory. To the point where if it comes true, I'm convinced you read that online.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah, that's your payback.
That spoiled the movie before it came out. You know what? I'll take that responsibility.
That's right.
I'll take it. Damn it.
Oh.
I hope it does happen now, too.
But that is a really good theory there. I like that a lot, actually.
It makes sense. I mean, for what MCU tends to do, they tend to go with they twist things, and sometimes they
I mean,
they just throw things the other fucking way,
right? Yeah,
out of the park, or not. They just crumble it into pieces and just like fuck you.
That so I think it's pretty safe to say that like the Guardians are going to come together along with Adam Warlock to defeat High Evolutionary, and I got to say, man, I think that in total there's like 3 trailers for this Guardian movie, but we still don't know a whole lot, and I think that is really cool, actually.
Yeah.
I mean,
done a pretty good job so far. I try to, especially nowadays, I try to maybe keep myself to 1 trailer per movie, and even then, I'm like, it's. But nowadays, it's so hard to avoid, and then like the trailers themselves get spoiled, and they're like,
oh yeah, and then there's assholes with podcasts who break down every single trailer and shit like that.
It's fucking assholes. Assholes that just ruin movies and games and tell you about games before you even play them.
Yeah. Only an asshole would do that. I mean, unless the game has been out for like 2 years, and then it's
statute of limitations is. I don't even know what.
Yeah,
it's 5 years, sir.
Oh, that is
5
bullshit.
Years. It's 5 years.
Bullshit.
So 2 years for movies, 5 years for games. 5 years. Games cost more, so you got to give it that wiggle room. That's how I'm kind of justifying that.
I'll consult that with my lawyers and see what they have to say.
Speaking of, you owe me some 2 sweets, sir. This is we established. This is how I get paid.
So for those of you who are unclear about what the fuck Brendon is talking about right now, I told Brendon, I asked Brendon if he wanted to be on tonight's podcast, and I told him that I can pay him in firm handshakes, and he said that he only accepts 2 sweets, which for those of you old school NWO fans, and you probably.
Bullet Club.
Huh?
And now Bullet Club.
Now Bullet Club. Excuse me for being an old man.
Yeah, you old fart.
Back in my day, it was the NWO who did the 2 sweet hand gesture.
Get with the time, sir. Yeah.
And now, yes, it's the Bullet Club. But yeah, and so that is what Brendon wants to be paid in. I told you I had to talk that over with my lawyers as well. So
I said that I would countersue, and you would owe me more 2 sweets.
Well,
more of them.
Well, I hope.
And then I would sue your lawyers, and they would owe me 2 sweets.
Well, you better be ready then to pony up, lawyer up, because you're gonna need it.
How dare you, sir? You'll be hearing from my lawyers.
Oh, I have the best.
They have no problem giving. They get paid in 2 sweets as well.
I have Matt Murdock as my lawyer, and also She-Hulk on retainer.
I gave them both 2 sweets, and so they. This is getting out of hand.
This is way out of hand. Okay.
Where the fuck were we?
Yeah, we were talking about Adam Warlock
yes,
and about how chances are at the end of the movie he's going to come together with the Guardians to fight High Evolutionary.
Probably.
I haven't looked at the runtime for this movie, so I don't know how long it is. But so here's the thing, right? These Guardians movies, there's already going to be so much going on in it with how many characters we have. Mm-hmm. We haven't even gotten into the Gamora storyline.
Yeah. Not even touching that.
Yeah. I mean, and so Gamora, obviously she died in Infinity War, and when they did the time travel shenanigans, that's when they got the Gamora we have now, the one who was still like kind of a blood-thirsty assassin.
Very much her dad's daughter.
Right. And so we have the feral cat version of
has no
Gamora.
idea who the fuck Peter Quill is,
right?
Or doesn't have the same kind of attachment for sure.
Yeah.
So we don't. That's going to be kind of a wild card in itself. Like, shit, we don't even know if she can be trusted.
Yeah, we don't. But also, Thanos is dead, right? Even her version of Thanos is dead. So
that's fair.
Yeah. And so it's not like she can defect and go back to him. And even we also know that Gamora, even that version of Gamora, would be grateful that Thanos is dead. She never liked Thanos, you know.
I know at one point in and I guess these are still considered canon. The What If
TV show?
Yeah. She somehow
her episode was cut, wasn't it?
That's why I'm kind of confused, because like she just shows up at the end, and she didn't. There was no kind of explanation and she's wearing Thanos' armor.
That's right.
And I'm like, is she the I don't know, leader or ruler of whatever army he was trying to? It's kind of unclear.
Yeah, and I don't understand why they cut that episode. It was a very weird decision, so I don't know why they did it.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you read Infinity Wars, not to be confused with Infinity War or Secret War or Secret Wars. Yeah, Marvel in their names, I know. They're just like DC with Crisis.
Fucking comics.
But there's a storyline in there, spoiler alert for Infinity Wars, I guess, But Thanos had been killed in that comic book, and no one knew who did it. And then they found out that it was this person called Requiem had killed Thanos. And so now everybody's on high alert because they know that this person is extremely powerful if they have that kind of capability. And then come to find out, Requiem is Gamora. And Gamora she's being haunted by like the ghost of Thanos, basically. I mean, it's not literally, but like, in her mind's sake. Yeah. So and she's kind of unraveling here. And that part of it was a very kind of cool concept, and I wouldn't be mad if the movie adapted some aspects of that.
Yeah, that would definitely be interesting. I don't know if that would just muddy the pool too much in the movie, because you got a lot of that's a lot of things to keep up with, and
yeah, there's already a lot going on.
Sometimes MCU is not too good with keeping up with that sort of thing to a more satisfying degree.
So, to me, right, one of the downsides to Guardians 2 was they split the party. And I think that hurt the movie because the party was split basically up until the third act. Do you think they split the party in this movie?
No, unless until some people die. I mean, this is going to split the worst way possible.
Yeah. Split vertically and horizontally.
God damn. And not smash with books.
God damn it.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. They might just have her just being a dick the whole time and not explore her like kind of her power hungry ways if she has any left.
Yeah, this movie has a lot to do, and even if the movie is 2 hours and 30 minutes, which I don't know if it's that long, I'm just guessing. But even if the movie is that long, I don't know if they can fully do everything the movie needs them to do. I mean, they need to a degree, mend the relationship between Peter and Gamora. Mm-hmm. They need to introduce the audience to Adam Warlock and introduce his storyline in there as well, because we need to know what his goals and aspirations are. Then there's the High Evolutionary, who is the main villain. What is his arc and what is his goal? And then also, obviously, there's Rocket. Rocket seems to really have his own thing going on here in this movie. And if they can balance all of that while giving the other Guardian members adequate screen time, and
giving a overarching story that kind of you can comprehend. That makes sense.
That's going to be so difficult. But James Gunn, he's good. He's really good. So I'm not saying that it can't be, but I'm just saying that in order to do all that, it's going to be really difficult.
Yeah. I mean, he's done similar things. Like he's gone out of his way to do a wonderful job with the other movies that have multiple things going on, like Suicide Squad had a good amount of going on there.
Yeah. What do you think this movie will live up to all of your expectations?
That's the thing. I don't know what to expect. So far, the Guardians movies have been up there with the best. Have they been the most accurate, especially from the comics? No, obviously not.
Looking at you, Volume 2.
Yeah, but they definitely had a well done, comprehensive story about them, and character moments and just all that good stuff. and I'm expecting at least that from this.
Yeah.
Other than that, like, it's I don't know how much faith to have in the MCU or Marvel to not get their fingers in whatever James Gunn has done with this.
I think that James Gunn, he's probably one of the few directors, quote unquote, technically still at Marvel for now, who I don't think that Marvel would mess with that much. Like,
yeah,
Marvel
he does seem to have some pull.
Yeah, and he's earned it. Besides James Gunn and the Russos, Marvel does tend to have the tendency, especially lately, to kind of intervene with their directors, and to the point where it doesn't even matter who they get to direct some of these movies.
It's just an assembly line. Just
bring
on the next guy.
Yeah,
next movie.
Right.
Turn on that. Like, it's a pattern. It's the Marvel.
It's like a formula for them.
Yeah, formula. That's it. There's the Marvel formula for a reason.
I think her name was Chloe Zhao, who directed The Eternals. I think that's a garbage movie, but I think that Chloe's a very capable director. And so for me, it sucks that what was supposed to be a great opportunity for this young, upstarting
was
director.
there a lot of meddling in that movie?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you can tell.
It's very disjointed.
Yeah, it's extremely disjointed, and it's almost to the point where it's like, I don't know exactly what Chloe would have done differently, but it surely had to have been better than what we got. Now, I will say this. They did not interfere heavily with Sam Raimi on, they did, but they did.
I was going to ask about that, like how much...
with Doctor Strange, too. Yeah.
About how much they got involved. But.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that got cut from it, but in terms of like what we saw in the movie, I think that was mostly all just what Sam wanted to do. And then obviously we have James Gunn, and I don't think there's going to be a lot of interference there either.
He seems to get done what he wants to get done.
Yeah, he does, because he makes money, he gets results, and that's really all they care about. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're a business. That's what they should care about.
Bottom line.
Any kind of cameos that you would like to see or think we will see possibly?
Nova.
the
Nova end credit scene.
That'd be cool.
And then we see a tag team with Nova and Adam Warlock.
That's a team.
Like, don't need anybody else on that fucking team.
So I've said this from day one. I would love to see Better Ray Bill.
Bro.
Yeah.
Bro, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. I mean, you would think that would have started with a Thor movie, but still works.
I would hate to see what Taika would do when he finds out that there's a horse-faced Thor. No.
I mean, he did, throw in a little... And Ragnarok.
There was an Easter egg in Ragnarok.
I don't know if that was more of an artist thing or a him thing.
That's a good point. It might have just
he might not even fucking noticed.
Right.
You're probably like, what is that? Why is there a horse on the side of this fucking building? It doesn't. It's just the sculpture. Design.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Yeah. But I mean,
that's I
Better.
like that. I've been wanting an MCU Beta Ray Bill. Everyone's been wanting.
That would be incredible. He's the best.
It makes sense. Especially with if you imagine a Guardians of the Galaxy with a team with Beta Ray Bill.
Oh, that would be so good. I don't know if you're familiar with there was a team called the Annihilators. They were just overpowered.
I've heard of them.
They were overpowered as fuck.
And I've heard of them.
Yeah.
The only member that I'm familiar with on that team, I think, is Beta Ray.
Oh, Silver Surfer was on the team as well.
Oh, okay, well,
just to add to the overpoweredness of it. Yeah, you had
that makes sense.
You had Better Ray Bill, Silver Surfer, Gladiator, another one of Marvel Superman. Ronan the Accuser.
Oh, he was on
Yep.
Wow. I thought he was did he turn into a good guy or?
Believe it or not, Ronan really isn't that big of a villain per se. Yeah, he's kind of like neutral to like anti-ish hero.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. I mean, think of like Judge Dredd. I mean, because the accusers act as judge, jury, and executioners. You know.
They kind of made him a bitch in Guardians 1. Though.
They did. Yeah.
They kind of did him dirty. If that's what he's supposed to be, if he's supposed to be like Marvel's version of Judge Dredd, then
yeah. I mean, in terms of like power, like political power, you know,
or
yeah,
personality maybe.
Well, yeah, and even personality, yeah. There's a lot of that too. Like, I always recommend Annihilation to everybody because Annihilation is great, but he has his own arc in that book as well.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
And then also, of course, Cosmo, the Russian space dog, is in the Annihilators. Yeah. So Cosmo, I guess, is a girl in the MCU, which I did not know. Do you remember? What was it? Was it Guardians?
It was a Christmas special.
Christmas special, yeah.
But what established?
I mean, because like telepathically, you could hear her speak.
I took that as him sounding more like a little kid than a girl.
No, because Cosmo had his puppy, or she had her puppies, right?
I don't remember any Cosmo puppies.
Maybe not.
I don't know what part of the Christmas special.
Cosmo does have puppies. So.
In the comics? Mm-hmm. Oh, well, I don't think so.
And I think also, you know what? I think that's also in the video game.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Another friggin' nice spoiler.
That's right.
Out the window. God damn it!
That's what it is. Cosmo has his space puppies with them.
For fuck's sake! Well, at least we know that she's a girl in the game.
Oh, yes. And not in the game, in the MCU.
Well, how did he have? Oh, so it was just he got someone else pregnant. Was there another space dog that he got pregnant?
I mean, I didn't see one, but
I mean, I just
had to.
If I'm gonna get spoilers from the games, might as well get all of the spoilers.
I would just tell you this: like Cosmo had like the stereotypical Russian space guy voice.
How is this space dog getting more action?
Like space is a big place, man.
God damn.
Space is a big place. Yeah.
Fuck's sake. Anyway.
Yeah.
Back to movie.
Yeah.
Back to movie.
So
you took that as being female voice.
Yeah, I thought that. Yeah, I thought that Cosmo was.
It did sound very. I guess it could go either way. I took it as.
I mean, yeah, it's a dog. Like, you know,
it's a dog.
Yeah, it's a fucking dog.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Yeah,
it can have gender identity.
Some people will take you seriously. So,
who says I'm not?
God, my dog identifies as a goddamn dog. Shut the fuck up. It's a dog.
Damn. No identity freedom for you, doggos.
I draw the line at your pets. Your dog also isn't vegan. Feed that dog some goddamn dog food.
No, that's if you're making your dog vegan, then that's abuse. Don't be doing that shit.
That's 100% animal
fucking
abuse.
Weirdos. They are carnivores.
Yes.
Don't do that.
Don't do
that.
that.
You're gonna kill your animal.
You got your pit bull weighing 12 pounds. Fucking emaciated. Anywho. That's not Cosmo. Cosmo is very well taken care of.
By who?
Himself. Herself. Itself. Depending on...
non-binary self.
Depending on what, yeah. But I mean...
Their self.
Yeah, their self. Cosmo... Well, no, Cosmo's a dog. It's an it. Cosmo can take care of himself.
How dare you? I will reporting this to Cosmo.
You can tell Cosmo I said that.
I will. They will be upset.
Oh, shit. Cosmo could make a cameo also, if we're being fair.
Oh, I would count on it.
I'll say this, and then we can wrap this thing up here.
Sure.
But I think we will need some replacement members for the Guardians moving forward.
So I was gonna ask you, like, do you think the original team, like the OG, like Stallone, and I guess there's no more Yondu, so we can't really have the whole original team,
Right?
So, as far as like in the comics, they did come before this iteration, because you said this team wasn't even called Guardians of the Galaxy.
The team that we have in the movies right now, they weren't formed until like 2006. Mm-hmm. So
did they go by a different name at all, or
well no, when I was referring to earlier was technically a different team.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it had some members who would later become the Guardians of the Galaxy, but it was technically a different team.
Comics, comic books.
Man.
Yeah.
But the Guardians of the Galaxy, like as most people know them, they weren't a thing until 2006. And even then, most of them got some hard reboots. You know, like Gamora, Drax got a hard,
Yeah, he was pretty up there, like just like, especially from the way he looked. From what I understand, he was not just somewhat superhuman. He was a top tier.
Oh yeah,
wreck yo shit. Like villain? Was he a villain?
No, he was technically more or less a good guy, a little bit unhinged. You know, his main goal was killing Thanos. Like that was his. Yeah. His name was Arthur Douglas, and technically he was killed. He and his family, his daughter Heather Douglas, Moondragon, she was killed. And then he came back, but his main objective was
So this motherfucker really was Kratos.
A little bit, yeah.
God damn.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. But he was OP as fuck back then. And then when he got when they brought him back during the Annihilation arc,
he got nerfed hard.
He got nerfed, yeah, but he was much more interesting after that.
I bet.
Yeah.
I mean, he's like space Superman, like
yeah. Basically.
A little unhinged with it's out for vengeance.
Right.
Not a whole lot of interesting about that, but
yeah.
Did he in the comics? Does he act the like the literal self?
He does, but he plays it more straight than the movies do. So he's not quite so jovial as like Batista is in some of the movies.
Yeah, as time goes on, he starts out as more straight.
The first movie was by far the closest to Drax in the comics now.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, by far. So I mean,
he
was funny, but unintentionally.
Yeah, and that's what made it more funny.
Right.
Now it's just like it's funny, but it's just like we get where you're going for.
Yeah. Yeah, and even Batista says something about it. Like he also acknowledges it as well.
Like the whole nipples thing.
Yeah, it was a little much, but yeah.
Glad he got over that.
Yeah, but I do think that like Adam Warlock will probably take a spot on the new team. I think that Moondragon, they can bring her in as well. I would love to see like Phyla Vale be brought in. The original Mar-Vell's daughter.
Oh.
Yeah, I would love to see her brought in, but I mean, listen, whenever Marvel is ready to admit that the Captain Marvel experiment has been a complete failure,
never.
Because I think that's the reason why we haven't seen Phyla Vale. I think that's the reason why we haven't seen Nova. It's because they don't want any kind of competition for Carol Danvers. And I got to be honest, Phyla Vale, as long as they get the writing correct, she would blow Carol Danvers out of the water.
Really?
In terms of popularity and fandom. Yeah.
I just wish we had gotten Miss Marvel, Carol Danvers.
Oh, yeah. Well, first of all, no, I'm not going to say that. No, let me take that back. I will say this instead. Like, yeah. I will say this in place of that. Edit myself there.
Damn.
So, I mean, first of all, like, that outfit that she wears, that
is why.
God damn it.
I'll say it.
That outfit's a bit of a problem. And
not for me.
And I how do I put this? I don't think that Brie Larson has the.
She does not. No. I'm saying this is a hypothetical recast, sir.
Gotcha.
That actually can show it off.
I would say this. I would like to see Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel, simply because she had more personality back then. How do you regress a character that hard?
That's mostly the reason. From what I could tell, people enjoyed her.
Oh yeah,
as that iteration of her, and she was actually a legit character.
Oh yeah,
shit. I mean, Rogue. Mm-hmm. That's where Rogue got her power from, and
yeah. Rogue should do it again.
Yeah, that's what that we need. That would make everything a little bit better.
Yeah,
if we can get a Rogue in the MCU and just touch her.
Just Homer Simpson choke the shit out of it. Just
lock that shit up, rear naked choke like.
Sergeant Slaughter that shit.
For something. Put an end to the misery.
We have officially gone 2 hours now.
Damn.
Yeah.
My bad.
No. This has been great. The derails and all. You have anything else you want to add before we wrap up here?
No, I'm good. Before I think of some more random shit.
That is an excellent point. I will say this. You guys can hear the both of us actually here on this podcast or on the Patreon page, patreon.com/superherohomies. $1 to $3 a month. You guys can get all that extra cool content. But you can also hear the both of us on Entertainment Evolved. Actually, I was just there less than 24 hours ago, recording a very fun episode talking about our top 3 antagonists. That was a very, very fun and introspective episode that we did there. But you guys have to go check that out to see who we chose.
Now we don't get no spoilers from you. What the hell is that shit? Now we don't get no spoilers. Now it's just like, now we want some spoilers. Now you can't give the spoilers.
I didn't spoil anything, Brendon. You're just very perceptive.
Oh, since when, sir? Since when?
See, you're perceptive right now. You're seeing through my bullshit. You're proving my point.
God damn it.
This fiasco has gone on long enough, homies. Thank you guys again for listening in. This has been a blast. And we'll see you guys again when we do Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 review. But until then, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
And I am Walla Waleb.
Close and fucking enough.
Yeah, one of those.